If you're currently managing something with your health and wondering whether it has to be that way, my question to you is, does the knowledge that you have at the moment, whether you've read it, heard it, seen it from elsewhere, or you've thought it up yourself, does that serve you right now? Is that getting you the results that you want to see? If it is, great. If it's not, start to think differently. Get curious, entertain what else could be possible, even if it's the wackiest, most illogical, most unevidential thing ever. Start to entertain that as possible. And the reason being, when you think differently, when you think that other things are possible, that's when what you have in your life changes, including your health. So I can show you how this works. Listen for these 3 common misconceptions about health, disease, and the body, which, when I listened to them and when they informed my understanding of health, were keeping me in the position where I was with my illness. However, when I changed the way I saw things, when I started to entertain something different, that's when my health shifted. The first common misconception to share with you is that health is a fixed state. So it's actually not. Even though we have this illusion that we're in the same body all our lives, because we get up in the morning, we look at the same person in the mirror, we have the same aches and pains as the day before, we often think that we just carry this body the whole way through. The thing is that we don't. Biologically, we don't, because we know that the body is made up of cells, and cells actually are regenerating the whole time. You've probably heard the old Christmas cracker trivia that your cells, each cell in your body is replaced every 7 years. And obviously that doesn't happen at the same time, but gradually old cells are always replaced with new ones. The first common misconception to share with you is that health is a fixed state. So it's actually not. Even though we have this illusion that we're in the same body all our lives, because we get up in the morning, we look at the same person in the mirror, we have the same aches and pains as the day before, we often think that we just carry this body the whole way through. The thing is that we don't. Biologically, we don't, because we know that the body is made up of cells, and cells actually are regenerating the whole time. You've probably heard the old Christmas cracker trivia that your cells, each cell in your body is replaced every 7 years. And obviously that doesn't happen at the same time, but gradually old cells are always replaced with new ones. So this begs the question, if we know that disease is an accumulation of lots of unhappy cells together, but we also know that cells are constantly regenerating, so those old diseased cells are constantly being replaced by new healthy ones, what actually is it that's keeping the disease there? Another misunderstanding about health is that illness is the body working against us. So this isn't actually true. The body is never working against us. The body's always working with us to help itself. But the issue is that we tend to posit the problem inside the body. So we call the body the problem. And actually, if you think about it, the body is always working to heal itself. So if you cut yourself, for example, what the body does is it sends red blood cells to that area and those clot to form a scab. But you haven't done anything to make that happen. The body just does that on its own. And it's exactly the same with an illness or a disease. No matter how severe it is, the body's always working to bring itself back to an optimum state of health. It's always working to heal. Number 3, most people believe that disease will just do its thing and that the most we can do is sit back and pray that it isn't too rough a ride. Well, this actually isn't the case. So disease doesn't have to play out a certain way. And if you've ever been given the impression that beyond your general health, beyond looking after yourself, that there's nothing you can do to control your disease, to have a say in your medical condition, then encourage yourself to question that. I encourage you to question that. What we've seen before and what we've heard from the video before is that health isn't a fixed state and that illness is not the body working against us. And if that's the case, then really any disease, whatever disease it is, whether genetic, chronic or temporary, even if it's just a cold, the body has the capacity to shift anything. And when we put the steps in place to help that happen, we have the ability to rewrite the narrative of our disease. We have the ability to make happen things that we didn't think would happen with our illness. If you haven't had a chance to already, check out my video from last week, which will pop up now. And that takes this last point a little bit further and explains why your health doesn't ever have to play out a certain way. Even better, check out the link in my bio below. and that'll take you to a free video which explains how you can take the fate of your health back into your hands. So putting all of this into practice, manifesting different results for your health, and even being able to shift out of disease and illness.